Hello, good morning students. In the previous video we have discussed the types of telescopes and defined the angular magnification or magnifying power of the telescope. The improvised version of a refraction type telescope is a reflection type telescope. Just we recall what we have discussed in the previous video about the telescope. So, objective lens of larger aperture and large focal length FO. Eye lens is of a small aperture, short focal length FE. So, the objective produces the image at FO. That image acts as an object for the eye lens, and that image is made to fall at the principal focus of the eye lens. The final image will be at infinity. Hence, the length of the telescope is a sum total of focal length of the objective and focal length of the eye lens. So, we have defined the angular magnification and arrived at an expression for the angular magnification as the length of the telescope divided by focal length of the eye lens 1 plus focal length of the eye lens divided by least distance of distinct vision for image being formed at least distance of distinct vision. The second relation, the image being formed at infinity, the observer has to gauge his sight on the image formed at infinity. The image gets formed at infinity when the virtual object for the eye lens is made to fall at the principal focus of the eye lens. For that case, the angular magnification is just the ratio of length of the telescope to the focal length of the eye lens. Length of the telescope can be taken as a focal length of the objective lens, since focal length of the objective is too large compared to the focal length of the eye lens. So, here if I take focal length of the objective as say 100 centimeter and focal length of the eye lens as 1 centimeter, centimeter held cancel, and the angular magnification is 100 times. Angular magnification is 100 times. So, if the two stars very close by, they subtends an angle, say the rays coming from the two stars at the objective lens, if it is say of 1 minute, so 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes, 1 minute equals to 60 seconds. So, the light rays coming from these two stars 1 and 2 form an angle at the objective lens of the telescope, say 1 minute, then the angular magnification is 100 times. So, they appear to be far apart with having an angular elevation of these stars at the objective will be 100 minutes. Really, if they are the light rays coming from the stars form an angle 1 minute, for an observer it appears to be 100 minutes since the angular magnification is 100. The largest telescope is there in USA, Yerkes Observatory in Wisconsin, USA. The largest telescope has objective lens of diameter 1 meter. So, large aperture is having more light gathering ability, so that the feeble light also can be gathered and clearly the distant star can be focused. Further, The refraction type telescope has two defects, namely chromatic aberration and spherical aberration. Aberration means defects. So in order to increase the angular magnification, so angular magnification can be increased by choosing a objective lens of large focal length and choosing an eye lens of a short focal length. So the angular magnification can be increased. Apart from this angular magnification, there is another concept called resolving power. The ability of the telescope to see the two closely lying stars as well separated. That ability is called as resolving power. Resolving power of the telescope is given by capital D divided by 1.22 lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of light as received from the star and D is the diameter. So the resolving power can be increased by increasing the diameter of the objective lens. So in order to increase both magnifying power and resolving power, so the objective lens of larger aperture is to be considered. So as per our, we can increase the diameter of the or the aperture of the objective lens, since these two lenses are housed together in a coaxial tube. So the manufacture of such a large lens is one difficulty. Secondly, the objective lens of large diameter, it has to be supported on the rim of the coaxial tube. Due to its own weight, the lens may collapse into the tube itself. This is the difficulty with the objective lens of large aperture. So supporting the large lens on its edge, due to its own weight, the lens may collapse into the tube. This is the difficulty. Hence the largest telescope has a diameter of the order of 1 meter in a Yerkes Observatory in Wisconsin, USA. Apart from this lens can be regarded as made up of number of prisms. The lens can be considered to be made up of number of prisms. Here these are the extreme prisms, part of the prism. The mid part acts as a rectangular slab. If white light incidents on this, it breaks up into 7 constituent colors due to dispersion of light. So as the thickness of the lens increases, it will develop some defects, and those defects are called as chromatic aberration. So you can visualize with this particular diagram. Here white light coming from the star or the sun incidenting on the objective lens of the telescope, dispersion of light takes place. Violet bend most, red bend least. This is the principal focus for the violet color. This is the principal focus for the red color. Different colors are brought to focus at different points. All other colors fall in between violet and red. Indigo, blue, yellow, orange and red. So different colors are brought to focus at different points. Then here we get the colored image of the object. And this particular effect of the lens is called as chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration. Chroma means color. Different colors are brought to focus at different points. And this defect, particular defect for the case of convex lens is called chromatic aberration. This is another disadvantage of a refraction type telescope. The Spherical aberration is another defect. These are the parallel beam of a light, white light. Marginal rays 1 and 2 are the marginal rays away from the principal axis, and 3 and 4 are the paraxial rays. Paraxial rays converge at one point, whereas marginal rays converge at other point. Then there are two foci, F1 and F2. The object is of one shape, the image will be of other shape, and blurred image or diffused image we do get in a telescope due to this particular defect called as spherical aberration. So it has many disadvantages. One is a manufacture of such a thick lens is practical difficulty. Secondly, mounting of such a heavy and large objective convex lens on its rim over the edges of the lens is a practical difficulty. Along with this, it develops two types of defects. One is a chromatic aberration, the other one is spherical aberration. We have discussed in detail what is a chromatic aberration and what is a spherical aberration. So these defects can be overcome having a doublets, multiple lenses, a convex lens placed in contact with a concave lens, a convex lens placed in contact with a concave lens. So this chromatic aberration and spherical aberration can be minimized but cannot be eliminated. In that context, these refraction type telescopes are replaced with a reflection type telescope. Modern type of telescopes are reflection type telescope. They are designed and invented by a name of the scientist called Cassegrain. Hence the name of the reflection type telescope is Cassegrainian telescope. The Cassegrainian telescope consists of a concave mirror. So the convex surface is silvered and painted, concave surface is a reflecting surface. So these are the light rays coming from the distant star. From a distant star, the light rays what we receive on earth is a parallel beam of light. The parallel beam of light coming from the distant star made to fall on the concave lens. After refraction, all converge at a point on the principal axis called principal focus. The observer or the experimenter can sit here and view the distant image of the distant star or the celestial body. Having a cabin and sitting over here at this particular point to see the image of a distant star, he will be blocking some light, incoming light from the star he will be blocking. So a little modification was made to the reflection type telescope. This concave mirror called as the objective mirror provided with a hole in the center. So the parallel beam of light after reflection at the concave mirror, they are made to fall on a secondary convex mirror. Concave surface is silvered and painted. So once again the light rays undergo reflection at the convex secondary mirror, and thereby the light rays enter into the hole made in the center of the objective mirror. Here an eyepiece is provided. Experimenter, the observer, views the final image of the distant star or the celestial body standing just beneath the eyepiece. So This reflection type telescope has many advantages over a refraction type telescope. Main advantage is it is free from chromatic aberration. It is free from chromatic aberration. Here also the marginal rays, paraxial rays converge at different points that can be eliminated. The spherical aberration can be eliminated. Instead of going for concave mirror, a paraboloid mirror comes like this. This paraboloid mirror is free from spherical aberration, and the effective diameter or the aperture is the surface area available for reflection of light. Being more, so the light gathering capacity for this reflection type telescope is more, hence the image what the observer sees through the eyepiece is much brighter than the image what the observer see in case of refraction type telescope. So here the aperture is measured as the effective diameter of the concave mirror. Effective diameter of the concave mirror, it is 5.08 meter. This particular type of reflection type telescope is there in the place called California. The largest reflection type telescope has a diameter of the order of 10 meter. In India, a place called Koulur, there we have the reflection type telescope in Tamil Nadu. So the back surface, the silvered or the painted surface, all that surface can be made use to provide enough support to the concave mirror, though its aperture being large. So here convex lens has to be supported on its rim, whereas here the total back surface of the concave mirror is available to provide enough support to the concave mirror. Enough support for the whole surface area can be. Mounting of this concave mirror is not at all a practical difficulty. Further, the largest telescope is there in a place called Hawaii, USA. The effective diameter of the aperture of the concave mirror is of the order of 10 meter. So this is all about the reflection type telescope. So here the image of the distant celestial body or a star what seen by the observer or the experimenter through the eyepiece is much brighter than as compared to the images seen through the refraction type telescope, since aperture being more and more rays coming from the distant star can be collected, hence the image formed is much brighter than the case of refraction type telescope. So with this let us conclude the theory part in ray optics and optical instruments. So from examination point of view, the distinguish between a reflection type telescope and a refraction type telescope, and the advantages of a reflection type telescope or Cassegrain telescope over the refraction type telescope may be asked. So refer to the books and study well. In the next video, we discuss the numerical sums pertaining to all the phenomena: reflection, refraction, dispersion, right, and simple microscope, compound microscope. So we discuss the numerical sums pertaining to the exercises given in the end of the chapter, and so also the exam appeared questions also we do discuss. Okay, thank you.